Welcome back to the Panthers.com video mailbag. Staff writer Max Henson here with you after the Panthers wrapped up OTAs and minicamp. We got our first question this week from Arthur, who asks, how does Kony Ealy look coming into this year? I think Kony looks good, and of course for him, coming off that incredible Super Bowl performance with 3 sacks and the interception against the Broncos, things have changed a little bit. The expectation level has increased. People are going to be expecting more from Kony individually. But I think the thing for him that's important is making sure his routine doesn't change. He's got to keep that same detailed, narrow-focused approach. That's something Coach Eric Washington has been harping on with him ever since he arrived in Carolina as a second-round draft pick. And that's got to continue. And I think so far from what we've seen from Kony through the OTAs, through the minicamp, he's taken that right approach. He's keeping the focus narrow. For him, that's always been important. He says that's why he had so much success in the Super Bowl. So hopefully that'll continue for him into training camp. Got our next question from Cat Scratch Reader, who asks, who might win the backup left tackle spot, if not David Foku? Well, right now, the backup left tackle is Darrell Williams. Of course, at the end of last season, he was the guy listed on the depth chart behind Michael Orr at left tackle and behind Mike Remmers at right tackle. Of course, Darrell, the former 4th-round draft pick, is continuing to push for playing time, and he can back up both those spots, can even play guard as well. So that's what we're seeing right now as far as the depth chart. And for David Foku, you get the sense that this is really kind of one of those make-or-break situations for him. He's going into his 3rd season. All along, this has been well documented. It's going to be a project for the Panthers to see if they could turn him into a contributor at this level. He's always had the physical tools. It was a matter of transitioning to the NFL style of football and seeing if he could make this work. This is going to be a big offseason for him, a big training camp for him to see if he's shown enough progress. Has he developed enough to the point where the coaches feel like he can continue to be a contributor for this team? We've got our last question this week from Deshaun-White, who asks, if Byrd continues to impress, could he be an asset? I think he can be, and one thing we know about this league is speed is always an asset. It is always highly coveted, and that's something Damiere Byrd has, and it's plenty of it. And we saw that throughout the practices this spring, his ability to stretch the defense, make plays with his explosiveness. The question now becomes, when we get down to training camp and the pads come on, how does he perform on that stage? We know Damiere has put on some weight. That's been something for him. He's had to adjust the NFL levels, getting a little bit bigger, getting a little bit stronger without losing that speed. We'll see once we get down to camp if he continues to have the same kind of success he did during OTAs and minicamp. And if he does, you can certainly see him having a role in this team as a guy with that speed. You may be using a special teams role and as a depth wide receiver. So a big training camp upcoming for Damiere Byrd. If the spring was any indication, it should be a good one. Thanks for the questions this week, everybody. We'll do it again next time right here on Panthers.com.